9.1 was just released, and the FV217 Badger, among many other tanks, received a buff. But I would say that the Badger received the largest buff I've ever seen for any tier 10 to receive. Its DPM went from 3,450 to 3,856. That's an extra 400 damage per minute. The Badger also gained about 10 degrees of traverse speed, now going at 42 degrees a second, enough to out-traverse even most mediums and lights trying to flank you. And finally, the Badger got 25 millimeters of more protection on the track wheel and the whole bottom side of the tank. Basically, the Badger got huge buffs everywhere, making it one of the best tier 10s in the game after just playing a few battles. I mean, just wait until you see the Hellas game and what the Badger is capable of doing. It is actually dumb. If you don't own this tank and it comes out for cheap, I would actually suggest to buy it. This is a tank that normally doesn't sell for much at all. And let's hope that it stays like that, because if it does, you might get your hands on one of the best tier 10s for not a bad price tag. So let's take a look, with that aside, at what the Badger can do with its new DPM, its new traverse speed, and armor in the front line on Hellas. This game was probably one of the craziest games I've ever played in tier 10 in at least the past year, for the amount of dumbness I was able to survive and how I was able to survive. And I can say without a doubt that previously the Badger would not have been able to do this. Now, there will be people here or there in the comments that are going to argue that the Badger was, buffed and it shouldn't have been. The Badger definitely deserved a buff. It was a tank that was one of the worst performing in tier 10. It struggled in many aspects, and I'm happy that it got a buff. But I feel like it didn't need the traverse speed. The side armor was great, and the DPM is great, but the traverse speed just turned this thing into an absolute beast. A tank that you can't get around, even if you could have previously. So right now, I'm platooning, same person I platooned with for my FV217 video, and I'm going to push up aggressive. There's the enemy off to the side in a 5A, my beloved tank. I'm sorry, but kaboom, I have to do it to you. And not only do we get one shell into a tank, are we going to get the second out? Well, the Badger may have a very nice gun and incredibly fast reload, but, well, it's not going to help me shoot the enemy 5A. Now, right now, this wasn't the best situation for me. The 5A, I know, has 7 degrees of gun depression, which is pretty bad for me, judging that I also have a Jagdpanzer and an E5 pushing on me. And I was trying to back up here. Unfortunately, the K91 got in my way, but that's all good. We got enough pen to still butter through that Jagdpanzer. But man, you can see that tank is pretty ridiculous on still how strong the Jagd's armor is on the superstructure. It's insane. After Wargaming buffed it, I would honestly say the Jag is one of the best tier 10 tank destroyers. I mean, it literally front lines with no effort whatsoever. So we've done only 900 damage. This game is not going well for our team. We're down 3 tanks, and yeah, this is not how you want your battle to go. But the Jag bounces our K91, which buys me a bit of time for him to survive, and the 5A's over here, and that's the Badger on movement dispersion. While it may have gotten a lot more traverse speed, which helps it in certain ways, it does not help it on its on movement. But there you go. Nice shot. We get a bounce from the Jag because I was able to angle the tank. You couldn't have done that last update. I mean, the Badger turns so fast. There's no way you could have angled it quick enough in the previous update to bounce that. Now, you can see him getting tracked, which kind of sucks, but we're going to get our track back in just a moment here, and that's quick enough for me to get a nice pen into the enemy 5A. We've blocked 1,500 damage, nothing crazy, but, well, it's 2 versus 6 right now, and it was just a 2 versus 7. We are literally, me and my teammate, single-handedly fighting an entire team. So, the Sheridan gets behind me, and that's not good. I get tracked. Please don't shoot my track. Oh, no! I get tracked again, and at this point in time, you can basically think that this battle's over. Except it's not! The traverse speed! Look at the Badger go. We get a nice pen into him. We give him a little love tap. He's got 18 health left, and boop! There you go. He dies. Okay, so we're able to clear the Sheridan. Now I'm going to back up, squeeze my way right in between. Now this Leopard can't get past me. And oh, you know what's gonna happen. All I have to do is make sure that this Leopard cannot back up quick enough to shoot my lower plate, and this dude has no chance of penetrating me. So, I'm just gonna use that traverse speed. Leopard's not gonna out-traverse me. There you go, another nice penetration, 575 max roll. He's trying to back up. He's trying to back up. He's making it, but dead. There you go. Full health Leopard, dead. 2,400 damage blocked, 4,863 dealt in this moment. My teammate dies, unfortunately, but you know what? We're not going to stop this. We are going to keep this train a-rolling. This E5 is going to die. Okay, let's aim in. What am I going to do here? What am I going to do? We only have 100 health. And I'm hull down, and the dude's got a damaged Amarak. So we're going to get a nice HE, 200 damage, makes him a one-shot now, guaranteed. I know that he has a damaged Amarak, and an E5 already has over a 10-second reload, meaning that with a damaged Amarak, it's probably 15, 16, maybe even 17 seconds. So I took my chances, I rushed him, fired the shell, and there you have it. That was 5,400 damage dealt in a 2 versus 7 with my teammate. That is what I call a crazy battle, and the Badger showcasing just why this is one of the best tier 10s in the game. Obviously, we pulled out a mastery for that game. I mean, this was everything crazy. And my teammate as well did another 5,400 damage. I mean, is there anything else to say? This right here was the power duo. With us outside of the game, our team did about 3,500 damage. I mean, what? Yeah, our team was bad, but there are certain games where you can definitely come out with a victory. So, now that we've showcased that game, let's go to a more mundane one where I'm going to play the Badger, just frontline on Port Bay. This game wasn't anything crazy. I just thought I'd showcase the crazy one first, just because that was such a crazy battle. So, what do we have up against us? Well, we got 2 good players in Hayden and Slice Platoon, so I'm going to have to be a little careful about that, but not necessarily the hardest tanks for me to deal with. The Type 71 has 2,400 DPM with Kali, 2,600 with Rammer. I have over 1,200 more DPM, even if he's running Rammer. And the VK72, I've got like 1,600 more DPM. So the fact that they have no DPM gives me a lot of confidence frontlining in this tank. So we're going to see what we can do. With that aside, we've also got a TVP, T110E5, we got a T22 medium, a Grillbow Baggins, and a 60 TP. Okay, well, I need to cross this quickly. When it comes to this map, I'm actually surprised that Type 71 took so long to get there, because that side you actually spawn in faster. But either way, we've pushed in, and now I'm in the Badger, hull down. Is there anything else to say? Now that there is the Badger being crap because of its on movement. It always dunks shells like that. But there you go. Nice shell into the 60, and the 60's already bled over 1,000 hit points at this point, and we're not done. Let's aim at another shell in that 60. I mean, pretty good so far, I would say. 1,344 damage dealt. Now, there is one thing that I was kind of freaking out about. See this Type 71? Well, it turns out that he's running gun depression. Wargaming still hasn't fixed the bug. What are you doing, Wargaming? Fix the bug! I was wondering how I kept getting penned by that guy, and then it finally hit after I lost over literally 1,000 health. Oh yeah, he's running gun depression. Cringe. So we've already dealt 2,300 damage on this hill. And yeah, their VK buddy is not doing very well. I mean, they're literally getting buttered. We're up to 2,700 damage now. But I know that because that Type 71's running gun depression and I can't really tell how much he has, I kinda can't poke him. So I'm just gonna chill here for now. Aiming on this type. There you go. Nice pen. But unfortunately, we still get punished by that T110E5. You really don't realize how large the Badger's lower plate is until you realize how large the Badger's lower plate is. I mean, it's quite a big vehicle. So when you're hull down, sometimes you're not always fully hull down. But hey, we're up to 3,600 damage dealt. And we're not even done yet. We still got the VK. Unfortunately, that bounces and the guy fires HE at me. But, I mean, I could care less. We've already done our job. Our team is definitely going to win this. So at this point in time, we got the E5 off to the side. T22 medium in front of me. What am I gonna do here? Well, the problem is I can't really get shot by either of these tanks. I was gonna clear that TVP, but it didn't really matter when my 57 heavy was able to get the clear. So we're still 7 tanks up. They've got 5, and we've just slowly been pushing their health away. But our team's not the healthiest either. So it's still a tricky situation, especially with that T22 that on average does kill me. So, alright. Well, maybe I can get a shell into this VK72. Fire. No. There you go. On movement dispersion again. I really wish instead of giving this vehicle traverse, Wargaming just made the gun more accurate. That's a problem I've had with the tank personally. It's just its accuracy. Now, I was going to help this this 57 out, but he didn't really need the help, so we were able to do that. Unfortunately, my E5 teammate dies, but it's all fine because we are still going to dub this game. T22 looks like he's going to poke. Come on. Come on. Poke it, you poob. Poke it! Now, just doesn't poke it, but hey, we do get a nice shell in, and we get 375 out, and look at this, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Yes! Badger showcasing why that traverse speed once again is insane. So, at this point, we've dealt 4,100 damage, and I just want to get out a little bit more, so I'm going to aim it on the side of this VK72, and we're going to fire an AP shell, even though I die. We're going to win this, and I'm able to get out 4,600 damage. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Badger, the best tank destroyer in tier 10, hands down. The 263 is still great, Badger's better. They're, I mean, there's nothing else to say. These games speak for themselves. These are not one-off games. These are games that you could easily play as long as you understand how to play it. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'm speechless. The Badger is insane, and this is probably going to become my favorite tier 10, right up there with the 5A. Hopefully you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.